because I don't see that changing up at any point for the rest of the night. If you're committed, then you are committed. And to be honest, they are making it work. They've had a second and a first back to back. And look, it's great to see because Ant really does actually need to get some of these points on the board. They are a team that has been struggling so far in this split. So a big night tonight would be a really welcome sight for them.
Well, I can only assume that our friends on Good Riddance have bullied Dugu Play in the lobby because Dugu Play bullied them in-game. And as you can see, they've actually gone back up to Skyhook East, where we were expecting them to drop. So luckily for Good Riddance, they'll chill around at Thermal Station with the hot zone as well. And finally with, well, look, they don't get the zone exactly, Elfish, but at least it's in, their half of the map.
Ooh. That is a big pull down towards the dome.
Oh, that's a domer. That is 100% a domer. I love these. Love these rings. And as, look, T4 get that information for themselves, having just popped their beacon, courtesy of their Valkyrie retech, they should be very much deciding on a spot to go quickly. Do they go on the cliffs down the back? Looks like they're actually pinging that caravan that's like directly south to the dome. But you can play there. You can play inside the buildings. There's honestly a good couple of options there for them. So yeah, look, I think that's gonna keep hard pulling, and we'll probably see very much a dome. So anyone who gets this information, honestly, wants to be making that rotation quickly. It's one of those zones where you probably get a lot more information out of the second zone, out of the first beacon. That you pop, rather than some zones where we say, oh, it's a bit iffy. Could go here. Could go here. Could go here. This one is like, I think we're pretty certain where this is pulling. Like, you want to get there before everyone else.
Well, I think a good thing to note as well with that in mind is that T4 do also have a crypto. So if a lot of teams start to jump into Dome and, you're like, okay, well, it's probably going to be a little difficult to scan the ring. Maybe they'll be able to do that a little bit easier. Get themselves sorted with that info that other teams may not be able to get. And as would be the assumption, obviously a lot of teams are making their way down toward the dome already. PK, Uram, RTL, all have info on the zone. Onyx not yet, but they're moving through launch site toward a beacon of their own, and they'll get that info pretty quick smart too, you'd think. Also, cool to note that, cool or interesting to note that there was no contest over Thermal Station this game.
Yeah, we touched on that at the start, just saying that, Dugu Play did, in fact, go up to Skyhook. So, a little bit sad for them in several ways, because one, they haven't got the zone, and two, they missed the hot zone, and three, I don't know, they don't start off with 3 KP like they did last game, I guess. But, hey, they don't have to roll the dice, they don't have to play that 50-50. It's going to be a long road for them all the way down. I mean, it's literally the opposite. The only way to get further from that is probably 20th guarantee to start in Skyhook or West over at Trials. So, we're having a look at the dome here, seeing which teams have got in there nice and early. It's RTL. They've taken up that caravan that T4 were pinging. T4 have decided to stay within the buildings, which I really like, especially if you've got a Watson and a Crypto, which they do. They can continue to scan the zone with that Crypto and just, make sure that it's very hard for people to get in there, setting up as Watson. So lots of people coming down through Lava City, through Launch Site, as you noted, a couple of teams through there. Onyx actually looking like they might want to hold someone out, and then PK, I think they're coming up against Chicken Sandwich, maybe, who have made the very, very fast rotate into the dome.
Yeah, it looks like PK might be a little more happy to just play the outskirts, play that cliff. It is very playable terrain on the edge of this area of the map. I mean, I've seen wins from those kinds of little defilades and whatnot before, so it's not impossible, that is for sure, but it does take, I think, a lot of skill and a lot of timing as well, and a lot of things to go your way. You need to hope that teams aren't really going to send it on you, because it does tend to be one of those spots that when teams are coming in late, they just decide, look, we're going to head for the cliffs.
Yeah, well,
a little nook.
It also was very, it was a different meta, right? Like, you were playing that with Gibby Bubbles to reset, and you could stop people from landing on you by having the caustic barrels there as well. So, yeah, I don't know. Perhaps those cliffs won't be quite as enticing with this Sia Watson meta. But that said, I think we saw some APAC North's teams play there during champs and that kind of stuff as well. So I think it's doable. I still think it's doable.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess if less teams are interested in going there, maybe it does make it even, in a sense, more enticing to play because you're less likely to get contested. Whatever. Reading into it a little bit too much. That's mind game kind of perspective at that point. But either way, they, yeah, Primus Commander are very happy to sort of set up there. Dugu play. Still got a big run to make, and they also need to be aware of ADL Wolves, who are right behind them in Epicenter, and are actually using the Skyward Dive to rotate past Fragments, so that could be something that comes to head in just a second.
Yeah, meanwhile, EXO, they're sitting down at launch site. Onyx still trying to grab their KP over there. They haven't really set their sights towards the zone. They just keep looking at other teams and sort of wondering who they can take on, and they're just going to get straight in there, frankly. The Seer giving them the information. They do get caught off guard by the focus of attention. That's coming out of Onyx, and then we also do have a couple of members of Good Riddance hiding just outside. So maybe if they can get some reses off, they might be a factor in this fight.
Well, Onyx down to low shields on Belkin and Lahi. We'll actually see that actually equalizing the numbers pretty quick smart. It looked good for Onyx for a moment there. They got an opening, but Philippos, even though he is finished off, we'll see at least his team continue on strong. They get a res at that beacon. I think it's probably a bit too contested.
Jarrow, it kind of looks like he was thinking about it, but as you can see, he's just making his way out as a solo now. That's because Good Riddance, unfortunately, one of their members got finished off by Jack Cute there from Buriram. I mean, EXO still are a duo at this point. If Buriram had any idea, any clue about that, perhaps they could keep going. Now we're having a look at ADL. Oh man, it's like we just hot dropped in a pub. We've got Dugu playing against ADL Wolves over here, and both of them are on construction. They're just looking at each other, popping syringes and wasting meds, basically. They're a little bit worried that if someone picks out at them, they could take them down at the drop of a hat, because of course they're all so low on health as they do this. Dugu play, kind of get juked though, I guess. ADL, they're the first to make the move towards the ring.
Legacy's definitely looking a bit worse for wear. Oh, is he going to make it?
No, he's not. He's going to go down. That's it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they might just trying to conserve meds, trying to conserve meds at this point, right? If you go down, you go back up. I don't know. It saves you an extra like 10 health or something, maybe. Yeah, like maybe you get a syringe out of it. Okay, Valcult there, as you can see from Zugu. Jarrow trying desperately. At least he got the banners, so he's trying to find a spot where he can res. I don't know where he's going to go, though, frankly. You can see there he's ringed by teams. I guess he's probably going to trying to go that one that's like below Lava Siphon, but I don't know if he's spotted out Golden Sage just yet. I think he might have. He's got the 4-8 on the longbow, so he's at least got some some good scoping information there. And yeah, okay, yeah, he definitely can see them. So he's got to either try and wait until they rotate. Maybe, hopefully, someone else catches their attention. Golden Sage centered on that, and Jarrett can slip in through. But he's not a crypto, right? He doesn't have the drone to go and grab that insta-res from distance. He can't just take a gamble like that. He does have to put his body on the line if he wants to grab this one. And Golden Sage saw them.
Yeah, GP spotted him. So Jarrah's just going to hide behind the rock, but I'm not sure he's going to get out of there alive. Either way, keeping a bit more of an eye over at the dome for now. You can see, obviously, a lot of teams have set themselves up, set up shop inside of the buildings in dome. Which is to be expected with a circle like this.
Yeah, we got this one right. It's definitely a hard pull. It's gone all the way over dome, Lava City, and launch site pretty much out of contention now. It'll keep going, at least in some direction, over towards there. Buriram, a team who have also made that read, so they're the ones playing low down. You can see, actually, yeah, I guess, the pylons, they're a very good height for these cliffs at the back. Very hard to snipe them out, which makes them an effective deterrent, and also, as usual, just pumps your team's shield back up. Don't have to worry too much. You can save those for the end game where you're really struggling to find purchase.
I think it's definitely a playable position for Buriram, as we were talking about a little bit earlier. Jaro still on the move, looking for somewhere to hole up while his teammates get respawned.
Well, he did manage to make it happen at the tree, obviously forgoing the one in Lava Siphon due to Golden Sage's proximity to that. You know, is there enough? You can see they're pinging, you know, sentinels and white sniper stocks. That's the kind of shambles that Good Riddance are going to be in.
Way has just picked up a Havoc and a triple take, and it's like, all right,
let's go.
Like, you're really struggling at that point, aren't you? When that's your loadout.
Double energy, love it.
Yeah, but
look,
I don't know. I'm not a big energy fan, but these are definitely not the weapons that I would want. Either way, T4 have an EMP in Dome,
and just had a respawn as well. They just brought Retech back into it. He's lost his shields falling out of that drop ship, but has actually managed to get back into the
purple shields
fight.
now.
So I mean, we were just talking about the you know, the reset with a crypto drone. That's how you do it. That's the advantage of playing that legend.
Yeah, so they're going to be really stoked with that because, well, it's not every day that you get a res, and it's certainly not every day that you get a res straight into purple armor. I mean, it's obviously really nice that he can just go back to his body there and pick it back up. Good stuff from T4. Can't necessarily say that Moist are having as fun of a time. I can see them right now replicating their armor, getting some meds. They're in the blue. It's, well, not going very well for them at this point. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. We'll keep up to date with how they're going. DNZ, bit of a stalemate on the doors.
This is over at Lava City, of course. We've got Ant looking onto this while DNZ pull into MDY White here.
I mean, it's not really kicking off as hard as you'd think it would be. Neither team super interested in taking that fight, I guess. They both recognize that they're going to have to move pretty soon. They don't want to get caught up in anything. They also know that Ant probably is quite close by. They'll have that info. So this is really more of a scouting mission from DNZ than anything else.
Yeah, they've got a minute to work this out, so probably not panic stations just yet for our Lava City teams. You should see Drauga just crawling into the circle behind this with Legacy following him in. They just creep in. Do have the Skyward Dive. So ultimate options available for them to push in a little bit further. So they'll start running into teams like PK, who are laying the hill above Lava City and looking down. Ooh, look at the Rampart boosted 30-30 as well. So, okay, it's going to be a tough field to cross for them. Okay, next ring, solidly on the dome. You're playing the you know, the buildings. You're just going to be so happy there. But even these teams like RTL going early for the caravan, Buriram, like we said, on the back cliffs, they're going to get into that ugly position where you've got to start hoping that like the ring just sort of clips on the outside of the egg, and you can play that because you'll start seeing these teams rotate in through the gaps in the dome itself, and just playing on just the inside of the outside of them can make a big difference to how you go, basically.
That almost couldn't be more perfect in terms of ring positioning to just completely encapsulate the dome.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, how's that worked out so nice? Well, it's very nice if you're inside the dome already. Is it really nice if you're not? I do see Good Riddance have actually made their way in to an extent, and just to keep you updated on how they're going, Don has found blue armor. He's got an EVA 8 and a Sentinel. Way still with the whites. The Havoc and an R99. No attachments on either. So it is still pretty tough going for Good Riddance, but look, maybe they can win a fight, or they can find a third party, they can find a couple of death boxes to upgrade, and this would be a good opportunity to do a Dream Fire in a real spot of bother. Ems actually going to go down to the missile swarm of Way, so there's a potential extra kill point already for Good Riddance. They're going to charge their way forward. They know the Dream Fire is under the pump at the moment. They've hit a couple of tags on Flash as well.
Oh my, just got turned around in a matter of seconds there. Yeah, Good Riddance pushed in. They were like, oh sweet, we can take our Dreamfire, maybe grab their loot as well, but unfortunately, GQ were looking on the side. They do actually manage to finish off GQ, but it's a double KO. They go down at the same time, and now maybe Dreamfire actually resets.
Dreamfire is just down to Pite. He could potentially get the res onto Roy if he can cross to him. But he's the Watson player, so not going to be the easiest of crosses. Like, he doesn't have any mobility to help him out. If he gets over there, though, he'll get that res. And just watching on my screen, he has done that. So
he has, and Limo from RTL is just below him, but they must have been just out. He's using the heartbeat sensor to actually look for Dreamfire right now, but they were just outside, so he doesn't get the clue until he brings his sniper scope out. But by then, it's too late, and Roy is back up.
Well, one way or the other, Dreamfire have two members to work with. Golden Sage. They're trying to push into this caravan, and Fugi is not having a bar of it. Shot from downtown. Famous Commander getting a real thorn in the side of this push, although they are actually losing members of their own, so not ideal overall.
See Bugi looking for the last hit. That's because Mobius, who just got that shield bat off, was a tickle away from death. So they're going to push up even closer now. He needs to finish this off. Unfortunately, he's been, Crusader's gone down at this point just to make it a little bit harder from him. Decides to resupply himself first, but he's got to get Hay up the rear. The ring is closing, and Bugi, unfortunately, will have to go on alone.
EXO have set up real nicely, haven't they? This is a perfect place to be. How is this next ring pool going to affect things, though? I mean, there's still a lot of teams. This is very similar. It reminds me a little bit of that Big Mord game where we just had so many teams in the end game because there's so many little nooks and crannies and buildings and stuff that you can hide in. Now it's down to 11 as Dugu play does get finished off, and it has been a pull down toward the southeastern side. So right where Ath have set up once again. I don't know how they keep doing it.
Yeah, I was just about to bring it up. We haven't had much vision of them yet, but I can tell you that Sheila is in the box seat to take out another dub here. Ath have been set up well. They've been here for a while. It's Buriram on the outside of them. Look, Chicken Sandwich also looking pretty good, but hey, they don't have a machine gun, Elfish.
That is true. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest with you, but anyway. Machine gun is as machine gun does. Chicken Sandwich not doing too badly for themselves this game. They have definitely cooled off as the day has gone on, but I think overall they can be happy with how the day has played out. Kizix has got that Sheila ready to go. But not finding any angles. It's gotta be frustrating.
Yeah, you only get so much ammo on the mobile version of it, so unless you're placing it, he is a little bit wary. A couple of other teams going down here. You can see north side are probably going to have to start worrying about their position soon. The ring is closing. They've got to get past a duo of Dreamfire. Boogie Borders also down to a duo. And Ant Esports soon to be down to a duo. So honestly, everyone on the north side of this ring is having a rough time, basically apart from EXO. So they continue putting pressure, as you can see, and they're going to keep going. Ant is one of those ones that have to struggle, but they've got to get past Chicken Sandwich if they want to make it back in here with a chance.
I think Holiday really just sent it straight down into the lava. They're fully committed. Chicken Sandwich also going to have to get on the move a little bit. He's all over the place. EXO just got dominated. I don't even know where that was from. Dreamfire down as well. Ant too. So it just feels like everyone that had to make a rotate from that northern side pretty much was up the creek without a paddle.
Yeah, Boogie Borders were the only one to really survive that. EXO, we saw them full purple armors were looking good. They ran into Dreamfire, and unfortunately, two of them took too much damage. The third one went down to the ring. It was a pretty cursed rotation there from the north. Boogie Borders, the sole survivors here. And now we see where the final zone will end up, and it's going to be a fun one here at Buriram. We've got T4, the Dome team themselves, have managed to hold on for dear life here, and their 20th guaranteed are actually coming out with a really solid game here.
Still anybody's guess as to which way this will actually go. Sure who it necessarily favors when everyone has to push out, but T4, they're not going to like seeing that. Justy, it's not. Rez attempt is coming through pretty smart. There's an EMP out as well to try to buy time.
I'm really
And
liking
we do
Chicken
have G4
Sandwich's
back to 3.
position here, Elfish, because they managed to clear out boogie borders at the top, and that's actually opened up a lot of space from them. They can go to that middle platform if you want. There's not a huge amount of cover there, but at the very least, they would be separated from a lot of these other teams.
I don't know. I'm still kind of pulling for Ath right here. I want to see that minigun get a second dub.
Well, there's your head and your heart.
That's true. Sandwich up on the high ground as well. Going to be able to get a lot of info off his position from Panna. Don't want to keep falling off like that, but a little bit worried that maybe someone else is trying to contest the silos, and well, as we would be aware, that's not really the case at the moment. Oh, there's some really good damage in from Strafing Flame, and this is just costing other teams really crucial seconds when they have to duck back down, put the shields back on. That's not a good little cross from Panna. Unfortunately, Chicken Sandwich are going to lose them. Down to 2 players now.
All right.
Just need to keep the 3 up there.
Yeah, Buriram and Ath have been managing to do that. Buriram getting 1 loss, but Ath, for the moment, are well set up. They've put down a new pylon. They've got fences going. Shield up, ready for Kizix to try and do some damage. 5 squads left. This could be a good one for Ath yet again.
It could indeed. They know that this is an area of the map that doesn't have a lot of cover, but hey, it's fine. When you bring your own cover, maybe you can make it work anyway. 20th guaranteed. Good shots in, but Ath are really, I'm still watching, keeping their heads down. They're not getting involved in this engagement at all. They do need to be wary of that high ground. That's where 20th guaranteed are playing from. And when those shots now ring out, they all start to look skyward. And they get a bit of info off the back of it. 20th guaranteed have Trent up in the sky. It's look out too kindly for him. Very low on HP. Drop down on top of Ath, who will go back to back with the Rampart.
It's the best legend.
Yeah, 100% win rate in the last 2 games.
Yeah, there is no doubt at this point. Ath are making it meta here. I mean, oh man, how cool would that be if we literally saw more teams pick